So this year's theme at Insatiable Sisters is it's Bruja. It's witches, it's magic, it's shamans. It's really asking queer, trans, and two-spirit people to reach back into their cultural backgrounds, to pull out those stories of magic that have really been buried by colonization and by the church and by Victorianism, and all these ideas around like modesty and prudism that suggest that magic doesn't exist. So we're really inviting people to pull back into those places and to really bring those stories up front and center and ask us to knit those things together. So when we're looking at the artists and we're trying to decide really who to make a part of this year's Insatiable Sister, we're looking for people bringing a diversity of perspectives on different kinds of magic. And totally from even a selfish place, like we want to learn more. We want to learn about all these different stories of these magical bodies, and we want to bring that into our audience. And the way that we work, it really isn't about having each artist come up on stage and just do their thing and then walk off. It's really about knitting each person's piece together with the many different narratives, because ultimately I think as people of color and as artists, we really work from a place of intersectionality. We recognize that separations are things that are very arbitrary, and we really try to work from a place of connectivity and find those pieces of connectivity and bring them all the way together.
Absolutely, because so many times, especially in the arts, we focus on the individual and individual solo accomplishments. And when you think about it, even in those situations, there's so many people involved to get someone to the place where they get to. And there's so many support systems, there's so many other artists around that one person. So with Insatiable Sisters, what we want to do is bring everyone involved in the process to the forefront, bring everyone together.
Queer and trans people and two-spirit people have often represented people within a culture who have been historically bridgers, have been people who have brought together very disparate community members, and have been mediators, have been magic makers. And we really wanted to draw attention to a history and a legacy that was older than what we see now, and really invite people to reach back into their own cultural and ethnic backgrounds to pull in those different references to magic. I think that, you know, witch is a term that has really been denigrated by the Catholic Church, and like we're not here for that. And Victorian culture that really was, you know, there were witch hunts. People were being burned for their magicalness, and we really wanted to invite people to bring that in. So when we're thinking about pulling together artists for this year's Insatiable Sisters, we're really thinking about that, the diversity and the different perspectives of kind of magic we're bringing into. We're really interested in ways people embody that in movement, the way that people embody it in speech and not in speech. We're also interested in the way that people do it in all sorts of different ways. And for us, we really want to make sure that we're bringing together artists that might not necessarily have the opportunity to work together, but will have the opportunity to share their art practices collectively with each other, as well as their stories of that different kind of magic. We're hoping that this whole evening is something that is literally a spiritual, marvelous experience from beginning to end.
What was really encouraged within me as a director when I was at Canadian Stage was to really be bold, to really find what is so scary and enticing and thrilling about a particular piece and go for it, you know. So what I do when I'm working with each of the performers that are going to be at this incredible performance is to really talk with them, get to know where they're coming from, why they're really drawn to a certain topic, what their intention is for a piece, and to really get close to their hearts and to feel their hearts beating, and then to take that emotion, to take all that energy and to put them in a position where they can release that, and for all of us to feel and to see.
So we would really love to invite people to join us this year for the Year of the Witch, the Year of Bruja. November the 14th, Insatiable Sisters at Buddies and Bad Times Theater. We will also, for the 2 months leading up, be having live art experiences, public art experiences. We will have 8 artists on stage. We'll have visual artists and durational artists. So we invite you to come and join us and feel the magic.
See you there.